Hello. Hi. I'm going to do a little quick video right now on a scavenger hunt that I participated in earlier this year. And I'm just going to wait and see if there's a few people that come in to see if they want to watch me go through my scavenger hunt. Hi, Zoe. Well, there's Mary. Caught me red-handed. Oh my gosh. Caught me red-handed. I'm going to talk about a scavenger hunt that I participated in. And I thought I had a few other things around here, but I don't see what I'm looking for, but that's okay. Just wait for a few seconds here. Hi, Becky. Hi, Lisa. Dawn. Welcome. I just wanted to do a little quick video. I've had company for all last week, and they left this morning, and it was wonderful to see them come, and it was wonderful to see them go home. But they had to go back to Kentucky. Hi, Gilly. Hi, everybody. I don't know if everybody knows about Janet M. Young is her name, and she had a scavenger hunt back in January. And so I did the scavenger hunt, and I've had my book done. Well, believe it or not, I had it done the first week. Okay, let's just face it. I just like it. I like doing this kind of stuff. So I want to do a quick little flip and give a shout out to Janet and thank her for doing this. Thank you. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper. It was 12 by 12, and this is just a half of a sheet. And I might have it was a cardboard style scrapbook paper, and I put a little bit of glitter glue on it. Blinged it up a little bit, and I tied some beads on the ends. I need to show y'all how to make this particular braid. It's so fun to do. It's a twist. It's not braided like the braids that we do with the 3 strands. This one's done with a twist. And it is easy and fun to do. And then there's my little beads for my little bling bling. So anyway, back in January, Janet did this Happy New Year 2019, and she said the deadline is April the 1st, and she said that everyone was welcome to participate. So it's still on her webpage somewhere or in her video clips. If you want to go to her page. She's also known as Monkey Island Madness. And but anyway, she is a very good watercolor. She likes to watercolor, and she's a sketch artist. She's very talented in the mechanical drawings, and she did a lot of mixed media, and I enjoy watching her. So if y'all want to check her out, please do. Well, Lisa, now that you mentioned it, I did it last year, and like I said, I love doing these, so I did it back in January. And come along, like October, November, I said, I don't think I did it last year. And I didn't think that I did it. And I looked around, couldn't find my book. And I said, well, I came across last year's prompt list. And I said, I don't remember any of those. So I printed them out again. And you know what I did? Yep, I did it again. I didn't remember doing it. And I kept saying, some of these prompts are so familiar, but I just kept doing them because she puts, it's like 70 of them. It's not just 10, it's not just one little quickie list. It's like 70 prompts. And so I did last year's twice. I did it once in January and again in the fall. I had fun, just as much fun doing it again. Now I'm telling you my age. Telling you my age. I'm slipping up. I think we sometimes we do a little too much stuff all the time, and it didn't hurt anything. I had, like I said, I had just double the fun, double the fun. But this is this year's for 2019. And the first one was to collect autographs. So my adopted niece that was just here this week, she was here back in January because that's when they came down here and they left to go to Costa Rica. So I got her autographed and I put my autographed on there. So there was my autograph page. And what I did is I printed the prompts out twice, and I put them all in the front, and then the second copy I cut the words apart and put them on each of the pages. So I labeled them so I don't have to keep going to the front to see what I tried to do if I couldn't figure it out. So for those of you who just came in, I'm doing a flip through on my scavenger hunt prompts that I did for Janet M. Young, Monkey Island Madness, and I'm doing a quick video on it for her to see and upload. And I think she's going to have a contest. I don't know, something. But I just wanted to share my book with you. I had lots and lots of fun doing it. I really did. And when you do a little book like this, you don't have to stop. If you want to continue to add to it later on, it's perfectly fine because it's your book, it's your art. So anyway, the next one was a page of purple. And as you can see, I put all kinds of little doodads on there of purple. Just purple stuff that I could find. Purple paper, purple flower. This is foam art. And this was a stamp, a punch that I did. And that's the negative space. And some odds and ends purple scrap paper. And this little triangle came off of a cupcake. One of those little cupcake paper holders for a cupcake that you bake in, and it was like a rainbow, and this was the purple part. And the next one is fingerprint bees. So I took the yellow paint and I made my thumbprint 5 times, and those are my thumbprints, and I made bees out of them. And then I just happened to have these cute little bee stickers that I added to it. So that was my page of bees. And the background paper was a piece of brown packing that came in something that I had ordered through the mail, and it was textured, and it was an unusual textured, and I thought that would be good. And then I have a one of these hot plate things, and it just happens to have the bee design, and I cut it up into several pieces because I don't use it, obviously I use it in my art as a prompt. So this was the bee background. Now if y'all want to see something again, let me know, and because I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna read all the chat, but if you have any questions, holler at me. I'll be glad to answer. And Here she wanted fruit stickers. Well, she wanted the stickers off of your bananas and your apples that you get from the grocery store. I know that's what she was thinking of. But I just so happen to have in my sticker collection fruit stickers. So I used my fruit stickers. And this is another example when you're doing your art, put your own creativity juices in it, you know. And hi, everybody coming in. I see Joyce and Janet. Good. Thank you. Thank you. And but this is a good example of this page is all about me because I had these fruit stickers and I used these fruit stickers in another project, and it had to do with I did Sunday school for the kids at church, and we talked about the fruits of the spirit, which is in a biblical verse. And so I had a little copy of that, and then I had these fruit stickers that I used in Sunday school. So I made this page, and so it means a lot to me. And then the next page is a napkin. And in my little book, the napkin was much bigger, than this page. So I condensed it down, and I collaged the napkin onto the page to fit. And then the border was the napkin, and I shortened it and made it smaller square, and then it had some little flowers, and it had the butterflies and some other decorations, and I just collaged it on to what I thought would look okay, and then I did some outlining with a marker. And that was my napkin page. And this was a fun page. And she wanted page number 11 out of any book. Well, I went through my stash over here of odds and ends, collage materials and old books that I had over here to use to cut up. And I went through everything and found page 11. And I think I've got about 5 pages of 11 here. So that was kind of fun to do. That was a scavenging. I was scavenging for that one. Magazines and reading books that I have over here to use in my art. And then this page was a page of gray. So it was just gray things that I found out of a magazine, shades of gray, furniture and I think that is a piece of security envelope. And I painted the background with gray, of course. Hi, guys. Everybody coming in. So here is a page of ink splats. And I just, it was either ink or paint. And so I splattered, I dropped the big yellow drops out of some watery paint and watery yellow paint. And then I splattered it, with a fan brush with the black. That was pretty simple. And then this page was a scribble with a crayon or colored pencil. So I took a crayon and I just scribbled real hard and burnished it so that it won't come off. So it's burnished on there really good. And it was just a piece of like an index card or something. There you go. Oh, Janet, I hope you can get over some of this creeping crud you've been carrying on with. Got another sinus headache. I hope it's not an infection. Yeah, Mary, I did too. I was having to go back to the front and look and say, well, what was this or what was that supposed to be? So I printed it out twice and put one copy in the front, and then I cut up the other ones by the lines and then I just labeled them on each page. I didn't even increase the fonts on it. I didn't type it over. I just copied it what she had because she gave us a list. It was a good idea. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and here is supposed to paint or draw bubbles. And this is about I'm a crafter. I am not an artist. And this is a good example that I'm not an artist. But I thought that this scrapbooking paper went right with this page. And so here are the bubbles, and I even have some little tiny white pom-poms on there to add texture to my bubble page. Yeah, I just wasn't really feeling it this day. You know, we all don't feel everything every day. This was not one of my best, but I do like it. I do like it. Now, I did paint this guy, and it's a fortune cookie. It says fortune. Well, this must be a typo. It says fortune out. Oh, the fortune out of a fortune cookie. So she really didn't want the cookie as much as she wanted the fortune. And guess where I'm going to go eat tonight? I'm going to get one tonight. I haven't been to Chinese for a while, and we're going to dinner tonight. So I'll add it to this page. That's what I'll do. Lisa, I'm going to be there. I hope to be back. I'll be back before 10. Yeah. I'll be here. I'll be there, Lisa. So anyway, there's my fortune cookie. And I did draw this, and I thought I did it was different. It was different. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And then here is a flag from a country you want to visit. And these were in my sticker box. And I don't really want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home. And I just like the USA. You know, I'm a member. I belong here. I was made in the USA, and I want to stay in the USA. Not to say I won't go somewhere someday, but I couldn't think of a place that I really wanted to go. I have traveled to a few places over my life, but they're over here in the North American areas. So anyway, and then here are pages of food photos and food logos. So this is just different pictures of food. It's pretty explanatory. Nice to see everybody. Now here she wanted us to draw a piano or keyboard. And that was my extent of that's all as far as I got on my drawing skills. But now she probably would have drawn, I haven't seen her scavenger hunt page, but she probably would have drawn the whole piano, you know. Because she could. She's good enough to do that. But I think that'll pass. And I love this one. This says to use string or ribbon. And I saw this on another video, but I don't know who. I don't know when. I don't know where. But the girl that I saw do this, she had scraps of threads and fibers, yarns, and ribbon. And she sewed them together to form a heart. So I took my wad of, I have a little jar of trimmings, with all kinds of little trimmings in it. And that's how I started this. I started this just because of this project. So I laid my yarn and string down. I didn't try to untangle it. I just let it wad up and laid it flat. And then I just took a needle and thread and started sewing around and making a heart. And I did that about 4 times till it showed up to be like a heart. And that's what I did with my string and ribbon. I made a heart, a wad of heart. I don't know what to call it. Maybe you all can help me name it something. String art. It's string art, but I sewed. I sewed it together, or whipped it together a little bit to hold it together, and then I just glued it down. But I saw the idea from somebody else, and I couldn't tell you who it was that I saw it from. Last year, I watched a bunch of videos on fibers and spinning wheel, the spinning fibers, and I do some fiber art with felting, and it requires raw or roving wool, and you can use raw wool from the sheep or the llama. You can use fresh wool if it's, but I'd like to wash it first. But roving wool is straight from the animal, and it's not combed out too much before it's made into yarn. It's pre-yarn is what the roving wool is. And I had a lot of fiber videos, and I borrowed a spinning wheel trying to see if I could do it. It was on my bucket list of things to do, is to learn how to spin yarn. And I tried it, and I returned the spinning wheel. But I did make up some fiber arts, some fiber thread. Okay, Lisa. Okay. Well, I'll have to show you some of my things that I make with the felting needle. Mary says that she's done some felting, and this is just a teaser, Lisa. This is going to be a teaser. But here, I don't know if you can tell what this is, but it's a seahorse. And this is done out of odds and end yarns and roving wool. And Lisa, I made a hand spindle out of a wooden knitting needle. You put a couple of grooves on the tip of it. I can show it to you sometime. I can get off on a tangent. But anyway, I'm going to make some of these guys to go in your journal. But I'm going to make it real thin so that the journal's not too bulky. And I use cookie cutters to make the patterns. And then, of course, I decorate the coloring part of it. But I use a cookie cutter to put all my yarn in. I'll do a video on it someday. We'll talk yarn. We can talk yarn. We sure can. And I've made some art fiber yarn that has ribbon in it, and it's not just made out of wool. It's got ribbon and threads in it, and it's spiky like with different colors, lots of different colors in it. And I'll get it. I have to find them and get them out. I have them. They're in here. Hi, Barb. Okay, you have felted the cat house. I have seen them make those, and I've done wet felting too. Yes, I'll do a segment on felting and all of my wool things that I've made. Okay. It's just something fun to do. But anyway, that's how I got into the fiber heart here, using string and ribbon. I love it. Now this here, The next prompt was a treasure map. And this is a local, I live close to the beach. So this was just one of those local tourist maps. And I wrote all over it for clues to get to the treasure. Okay. Lisa said she's doing a program on carding wool, which is combing the wool. I've got 2 cat brushes where I card. At your guild meeting on Thursday. Okay. Well, sure. You could do a video on it. Yeah, I'd like to see it. Sure. I'd love that, Lisa. That's good. That'd be awesome. Mary says maybe next month. She's knitting this month. She's learning how to knit. Okay, Becky's going to watch now and work on a craft table. That sounds good. So anyway, this was my treasure map, and I drew in some clues on 40 steps northeast on Monday. I don't know what that means, but it's a clue. It's a treasure clue. And then it talks about low tide over here, and it's got a canoe person going across, and there's the lighthouse, and high tide, and there's a ship out there, and I've got arrows and X's, and then I got a big X that marks the spot over here at 12 noon. There's a train coming by. You know, it's a clue. So there was my treasure map. I had fun doing this. X marks the spot under the keys. I had fun. And then the next page was to make a tag from a greeting card. So here's my tag from a Christmas card. And we did these. I've done this all my life. We'd cut Christmas cards up and glue them on colored paper, and then cut them out with decorative scissors, put a hole in it, tie a piece of yarn on it, and there was your tags for Christmas presents. Done it all my life, and I still do it. And here is a page of balloons, and I just happened to have a napkin, a birthday napkin. I thought that was cute. And this is just a blank page. Favorite rubber stamp. There it is. That one and this one. I love these two stamps. There's my favorite rubber stamp. And in my book, before I started putting anything down, I did the pages in scrapbook paper, and then I painted the back side of the scrapbook paper was plain, right? So I kind of coordinated it, like on the back side of this paper I did a napkin, and then of course this layout I did a map. But then on this page, this was the scrapbook paper on this side, but this side I think I used a spray ink and it wouldn't spray, so I just kept taking the stick out of the bottle and slapping it down to make these marks. But every page is done, the technique is done a little different in my book as well. So that gives me some interest in the book. I used a lot of credit cards, and I tried to use different colors. This one's done with an ink, one of these little tiny ink stamps that you get. And it was just the squares, and that was the stamp, you know. But that's how I did my backgrounds. But there's my butterfly. Here is a page of stickers. And I had this page of Sesame Street pictures, stickers that I have never used. And they're all dried, and the sticky parts all coming off. So I said this would be a good time to use those stickers, and I just glued them all down. So I didn't want to waste them, so here they are. And this one is something from my library, and I have a book over here somewhere that has one of those library pockets. But I have failed to put it in my book ready. So I have not completed my scavenger hunt yet. So I might be disqualified from the contest because I did not finish my scavenger hunt. But I do have a pocket, and as soon as I find that book again, I'm going to tear it out of the front of the book. But I can't remember which book it was. But it said something from the library. It didn't say a pocket. And this is from my library. I could just cut this out. It's a discarded book. How about if I just finish it right now? You all can witness me. I'll just cut this discard. Whenever they get rid of books, they do that so that they know it's not a good book. So there. Can you believe that? After 3 or 4 months, I finally finished my scavenger hunt. Janet will be proud. Hi, Jerry. I'm going over Janet Young's scavenger hunt. I'm just doing this just before we go out to dinner. We're going to get ready to go out to dinner tonight. So there's my library. And then this was a memory of my childhood page. And I found this swing set out of a magazine, and that's us. You know, we lived on a big nice place up in Huntington, West Virginia, right on the Ohio River. And our yard, we were on the river. And I didn't realize it, but I lived on a vacation resort all my life, and I did not know it. Did not even know it. And we had a beautiful place, and that just reminded me of home. And then this little thing here, I made it in Tanya McGuire's art class, where we did these little paper chains, and we used to do them out of chewing gum wrappers and chewing gum foil. And so that reminded me of my childhood. So there, Tanya's in my book. She's famous. She's in my book. And then this page is a page of tissue paper. And I just used all colors that I had in a bag. And then this little green piece, I had stamped a kitty on it. And the kitty got in my scavenger hunt page. And then she wanted paper dolls. And this is a real paper doll from probably 30s and 40s. And I got 2 packages of paper dolls from a lady down the street at a yard sale. And I think this is part of Dagwood's outfit. She had a Blondie and a Dagwood and a Doris Day and some and so I've been using them in my art. I don't play with paper dolls anymore, but I like it. And then I did a alphabet collage in a ransom note style. I just cut out letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find a big enough Q, but there's my little Q, and then my V and my X and my Z's were little, but that I like it. It's all right. Yeah, I fussy cut a lot of stuff. I do. I was fussy cutting out of a wallpaper book yesterday. I just sat on the bed and watched some TV, and I had some wallpaper books, and I fussy cutted these out for to use in my art, and they were just the flowers from the wallpaper books. So they'll make a pretty art page. Now here's a receipt from Walmart, and here's a receipt that faded away, but it was a receipt. It probably came from the secondhand store. And then here is a picture of someone that I find attractive, and that's my Joe. And that's from his old driver's license. It looks like a mugshot, but that's how they do it at the driver's place. So uh, whenever they you get a new picture or a new license, they take your picture and they cut your old card up. Now they used to give it back to you, but now they cut them up and they'll give you back your picture. So there's my thanks, Jerry. Just a wallpaper book. So there's someone I find attractive and the love of my life right there. And here is the use of a product that I don't use very often, and I need to do it. I need to do it more so I can do better, because this was supposed to be a feather. Like this one. This one turned out okay, but this one didn't turn out very good, and I think I didn't brush off enough of the black between the feathery parts. And so it's obviously I don't use it enough. I need to do it more so I can do better. So that comes out true. And here is a beverage label. Something off of a yogurt bottle. I didn't even drink it. I don't even know who drank that. Must have been Joe. And then here's a piece of foil, straight from the kitchen. And then this one, this says something vintage. So I have some very interesting vintage cards on here. Here is a report card from 1946. And I found this at a flea market in a box that had some books and papers and old papers in it. And I wanted the old papers and I wanted the report cards. And I have no idea who the person is, but it was Beverly's report card, and Mrs. Neal was the teacher. And so that was definitely vintage. And these were some printout pictures that I did. And then there's an envelope here, an old envelope. And I'm going to open it up. And if you remember, if you did her, hi River City, her, if any of you did her scavenger hunt, she said to hide a secret message in your book. And here's my secret message. I folded it up and put it in this envelope and had it as a little flip out. So it was hidden. Nobody knew it was there but me. Now you know. And let's see what I did on my hidden message. My secret message. Right there it is. Okay. This was before I got my camera. It says, you've been recording for 12 minutes and you're doing great. My little adopted niece that just left to go home this morning, we were talking. I was telling her about all of these live videos that I watch, and Joe thought that I'd be good at it, and so anyway, after they went to Costa Rica in January, that's when Joe bought me my camera. And we were trying to do a recording on my phone so that I can upload it and do it that way instead of doing live, because I didn't have the camera. Well, I had my camera on, and I think after a few minutes it got hot and kicked off, so I couldn't do it. But as I was recording, Jada wrote me this little note, and she wouldn't say anything because I was talking on the recording, and she held it up to me. And she's just 10. So I loved her. Ben, Bein. You have been recording for 12 minutes and you are doing great. She wanted to encourage me to do the video. And I loved it. I just thought I just cherish little things like this from especially little girls that are close to me. So there was my secret message. So now the cat's out of the bag, and you know. So here's a rainbow, and I just did it old school, typical, and it's out of order. It's supposed to be Roygiv, but I got the red underneath for some reason. I think I was tired. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway. And then this came off of a barcode, came off of some packaging, off of a cereal or cracker box. And I just thought it was so much like a rainbow. I just added it to my rainbow page because I wanted to. See, it's my art book. I can do anything I want. And you can too. If you got an art book, you get to do anything you want. Everything goes. This was supposed to be some pretty stationery that you should use more often. And I do have a hoard of stationery over there, and this was the first one I grabbed. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. It's not the pretty stationery, but it's just a piece of stationery. But it's Christmassy. So this one's cute. A page of smiles. Did anybody else do this? And just do the smiles and without the face? I just thought it was kind of cute. Especially the kids. The kids' smiles. And then this was a vine and a vine border, and I had a piece of artificial greenery, and I thought the wire was a little bit too bulky for my book, so I just pulled the leaves off and glued them around the border. And then I found this little piece of vine off of a piece of stationery that I had fussy cut it out a long time ago. I lost it and couldn't find it, but then I found it, so I added it. So it's a vine border and then a business card. And I have no idea. Joe picked this up from a lawn shop. He was getting parts for a lawnmower. Well, that's great, Violet. I'm glad you're in here checking me out. Good, good. So anyway, I'm going to finish this up here pretty quick because Joe's going to be home and we're going to go out to dinner. We're going to eat Chinese tonight. I've been so good on my diet. So I've decided tonight's going to be a free night. I'm going to eat. This idea was Janet Young's, Monkey Island Madness. She does a scavenger hunt every January. And this was this year's. And she has a page where you can get the prompts, so you could still do the hunt. I love doing them. And last year was so good. I forgot that I did it in January, and I did it again in October. Didn't know it until later. It was so funny. So here was a colorful page using washi tape. And I used the washi tape that I don't use very often just to use up some of my stash. So that worked out okay. And here is a pattern page from sewing patterns. And you could have, you could have had a play on word on the patterns, and you could have done a pattern of doodles, a pattern of stamps, a pattern of ducks in a row. That would have been a pattern. Well, that's good, Mary. Yeah, have fun with it. Yeah, I'll do 2, 3 at a time. I just start collecting things, and I already had the book made up, just sort of sitting waiting for something to do with it, and it turned out to be a perfect size of a book with enough signatures in it, and I sewed the book and everything. It's just a 2-hole signatures, and I've got about 5 or 6 signatures in it. Yeah. So here is, it says, okay, I sort of fudged on this one. It said to draw a butterfly, collage its wings. Well, I had this cut out. I think somebody sent it to me, and it was like one of those, uh, either a cricket cutout or one of those expression. I've got a cricket expression cutout that'll cut out, and one of the cuddlebugs die cuts. It's a die cut. And somebody sent this to me of the butterfly, and then I just put a piece of scrapbook paper behind it. So I didn't really doodle, but I did collage it all down. Okay. I'm going to come to Aunt Beck's in impromptu tonight too. I'll be there for the game. I'll be back. Here are this one is a restaurant logos, and these are just local restaurants, and I don't think I've eaten at any of them yet. They're over on Beachside. It came off of that treasure map brochure that I had of the beach. Okay, and then this is postage, and this is real postage, canceled stamps. And I sort of, I do pen pals. I have some pen pals. So I saved my old stamps, and I sort of have a used stamp collection. And then I even got this off of my junk mail, which was the bulk mailing that they put on a postage, or it might have came off of a manila envelope of some sort. And then this is bulk. This is a bulk envelope stamp. So that's postage. And then I lucked out on this ad. My girlfriend gave me a bunch of travel brochures and the AAA books. Remember all those back in the day when they would give you a trip ticket? Well, I went through all of the books and I tore out all of the old pictures. And this just happened to be a wanted sign restaurant, and this was the wanted poster, and it was perfect for my scrapbook. So all of the things I collected took me a couple of months to collect them, and to find things. And that's why they call it a scavenger hunt, huh? Go figure. But I thought this was really cute, and it came out of an old travel brochure. That was funny. And then this one was to create a T-shirt saying. And Jada, my adopted niece, she came up with this for me. And then I found a sticky note T-shirt, and this was a piece of white paper, and I cut out a white shirt, undershirt out of a magazine, and it had something else, a hand, or it had something else on it. So I just put a white piece of paper for the rest of the shirt. And then I added this because it was a T-shirt sticky note. So why fit in when you're made to stand out? That's what she told me to put on my T-shirt. Now this is something that makes you look like perspective, and you can look at this and look down to the bottom, or you can look up to the top. and this is the top of the pyramid. That's perspective. I think that's what she meant by that. So, moving along, here are some candy wrappers. And I just want you to know that I did not eat this candy because I've been on a diet. But I got the candy wrappers. And this said watch clock advertisement. And this is I have a watch catalog. So that was easy to do. So this was an advertisement for a watch. And then it said to weave some paper. And it just so happened that last year, Janet taught a video on how to weave paper. And I weaved this paper. This was one of Janet's classes that I did. And it's 2 pieces of paper. And that would be something fun to do on a video. I can show you how to do this if you're all interested. I won't go into it right this second, but it's not really, really hard, but it does take a little bit of a direction. And this was a little booklet note that I made out of the weaving paper. And this is the back side. And this was the painty side. So there's my weaved paper, and it was done the same way. And then here is a page of art supply testing. And I just took some markers, Posca pens, and sampled them right there. And I did some paint in the background, and it was just a piece of scrap paper. And then this was some product packaging. And Joe bought this little Roto-Rooter thing, this wire thing, to go clean out the bathroom sinks. And so it was the product packaging in the garbage, and I recycled it. There you go. How about that? And here I had to draw a rose. And I was really kind of proud of what I did here. I thought this was pretty decent. And I put some thorns on the stem, even though it's all done in pink. I think this was alcohol spray in the background. And here we have some junk mail. I'll cover my address up. And I didn't even open it up. I just cut it off and slapped it on there. It's still in the envelope. Quick and easy. No, and this was something you would normally throw away. And these were some crumbs on my desk that I was getting ready to rake off into the garbage can. And there's a little bit of magazine, scrapbook paper, a sticky note that I had used the heart, and it was just stuff I was going to throw away. Some of the scrapbook paper came from this book, as a matter of fact. And this was a page of grateful. And this was a little a card said petals of gratitude. And I just thought it was appropriate to put on this page. Okay, Lisa. Thank you, honey. I'll be looking for it. You're not going to believe what I just found today. Woohoo! I hit the jackpot in my cabinet today. Here is a page of colorful circles. And all I did on this was paint the background. And then I just kept going over in different colors of caps, of different sizes of lids. And I've got a drawer over here of lids. And, you know, the pen tops, the glue tops, and the tape dispensers, medicine lids, orange juice lids. And I did this to make this page, and I love it. I love this. This is totally me right there. Love it. And then here is a page of flowers, and it was just some wrapping paper. And I found this flower quote: "A flower does not think of competing with the next flower, it just blooms." And I thought it was appropriate. And then she wanted some map paper, and I've got some mapping in the background. And then I printed out some of the time zone things uh, for myself, and I had an extra one. So I just put it there. I like it. I like maps. And here's my origami. I did a little origami, and I don't know what it's supposed to be. If it's a boat or a star, I'm not sure. But there's my origami. I had to watch a video to learn how to do it. And then I just happened to find this in one of those travel magazines. And then I had a Zentangle page, and this is a coloring page, and I just colored it. And I still have some white spots I need to finish. And then here's the music page. And here's my page of buttons. And what else? Oh, I love this, guys. Oh, you all have to look at this. You have to look at this. She said, do an upside down page. Now, is it going this way or this way? Is it going this way or this way? It's an upside down page. I loved it. Oh my gosh, I went nuts when I saw this. Somebody's got to say something about my upside down page. I absolutely love it. I hope if Janet doesn't see anything, I hope she sees this one. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me, Lisa? There's no way I'm not going to send it back to you. I probably have enough stuff to do too. If I do it, if I make you a mermaid book and I do it streaming, maybe I can make two of them because I got enough stuff to do too. It's an upside down page. Which way's upside down? I don't know. It came out of the gardening section. Okay, and then this was a paw print, and I did draw this. I drew it by hand, and I put a heart in the middle, and then I have a little stamp that has a paw prints on it, so I did that. And this is a label out of some clothing, and I had a shirt that was it wasn't for the rummage, it was for the garbage. It was completely torn, stained, and ripped. And I took the label out of it for here. So that worked out. And then it says to use a rubber stamp that you never use. And I have a set of these, and I don't know that I've ever really used them. They're over there in my drawer. And this is a shoe shopper, and she's just a lady with a bag of shoes. So I don't know that I've ever used it in anything. So there it is. And then here's another funny one I liked. It says include an animal. Include an animal. So this is one of those asthma commercials in the magazine, and grandma is talking to their granddaughter, and she's like I'll huff and puff and blow your house down type of a person. It's an asthma commercial. And I just thought that it was a funny animal, and I put it in my book. Okay, Deb. We'll see you later. I'm getting ready to quit. Joe's home. Now here's a page. It's a double page, and it's random useless facts. And this was in one of those travel magazines. And at the time, it was probably interesting. And it is really still kind of interesting, especially to Mary. Mary will like it. But it's a Better Homes and Garden throwback 1956 summer picnic. And over here it says, "Did you know that picnics stem from the word picnicky, a term coined in the 17th century France for a BYO, bring your own wine dinner or a meal where everyone brought a dish." Sounds like a covered dish to me. A picky-nicky. A picky-nicky. And it's French. There's how it's spelled. A picky-nicky. So let's go on a picky-nicky. That's just a random fact. And then here is I had to put down a piece of fib art. And if anybody doesn't know what fib means, it's a short for friends in the box. And our phones and our iPads are the box. And we are in the chat box, the chat room. So it asked for an piece of art from a friend, and I probably could have used an ATC card, but this just happened to be on my desk. And I made this from a prompt game. So I considered Elizabeth Brewer a friend. And I did this in January the 13th of this year. And I made this tag with her on her live video, and I put it in here as a piece of art. And then here she wanted cheese, and I just happened to find a picture of all of these different kind of cheese stacked up, and I thought, how appropriate, a cheese page. Now I could have put that over with the page of smiles, and say cheese. That would have been okay, but I didn't. I had some cheese. So, and I think that's all that's left. So there's my flip through for Janet's scavenger 2019 scavenger hunt, and I made this little flap for it, and I put one of these flag paper clips. I glued it down with the hot glue gun so I can paper clip it shut, and it'll sit on my shelf now. Hi, Marianne. Yeah, you're late. We just finished. So I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I completed it with you guys today. Got my library in there. So had a lot of fun showing it to you and having a good time laughing. And I will do one of these. I'll teach you how to do this twist one day on this. It's a twisty braid, and it's the same kind of twist that you use on a bow and arrow if you ever do any archery. So anyway, Joe's home, and we're getting ready to go out to dinner, and we'll go over and pick my mom up and take her out for her birthday. And I will see you guys soon. And if anybody goes in to see Lisa at My Eclectic Life tonight, she's going to have a pick 10. Okay, Violet. Thank you. Thanks, Mary. And I'll talk to you guys later. We got lots of things to. I got lots of things to catch up on since I had all my company. So you probably won't be able to get rid of me now. We'll have some fun. So I'll see you all soon. I gotta go. So bye bye.